Jason Brown, thank you so much for being here with us. As always, you've got all the information we need from Public Works.
Thanks, Liz. We try. It's a lot of information, but it's a lot of good information
It
for our
is.
residents.
It is. Your department has such a broad range of activities. We were talking a lot about grass clippings these days and what we can do with them, how we can make the whole cutting our lawn easier, because you actually have some really good tips that are not only easier, but are better for the environment. So take it away.
Absolutely. So, as you probably know, if you have a lawn, you want to keep the lawn nice and tidy. It's a point of pride for a lot of homeowners and folks in the neighborhoods to make their place look good. And a part of that is obviously keeping your lawn maintained. So, here in Chesapeake, traditionally, you can bag grass clippings, and the Public Works Department will help take those off your hands. But you don't have to do that. And in fact, it might be a little bit easier and more environmentally conscious in some cases to not bag those grass clippings into a plastic bag and then put it out to be hauled away by the Public Works Department. So one of the best things you can actually do when it comes to grass clippings is just leave them on your lawn, leave them lay. That may seem a little counterintuitive to folks who for generations have bagged them or removed them, raked them up, and generally put them aside. But generally speaking, depending on the type of grass that your lawn is, grass clippings of about an inch or less can oftentimes be really good for fertilization, and it can get vital nutrients and nitrogen back into your lawn if you just leave those grass clippings where they are. So that's one less step for you when you're out there in the heat, and goodness knows it's been hot here in Chesapeake lately. Just leave those grass clippings out there. Now, the exception to that rule is when you have grass clippings that are particularly long. If you've let the grass get very high, it's longer than an inch or an inch and a half or so. If those grass clippings are too long, you can kind of make a mat of grass that sits on top of the freshly cut grass, and that can cause some problems, not letting enough moisture, light, and nutrients get into that freshly cut grass. But generally speaking, if you maintain your lawn at normal intervals, you can leave those inch or few or less clippings on the lawn, and that actually goes a long way to helping the overall health of your lawn in a very natural and sustainable way. And again, it's one less step for you to have to worry about, one less thing you have to put out on the curb for the Public Works folks to come pick up and take away. So one of the myths and rumors you hear about grass clippings on your lawn is this phenomenon called thatch. And what thatch is, it's a layer of kind of undecomposed organic matter that builds up between the soil and the surface, and while you're growing vegetation, and in this case, that vegetation is grass. So thatch layers develop when organic matter, i.e. grass clippings, is produced faster than they decompose. So leaving clippings on the lawn, some people think, oh, well, if the clippings if they stack up, it's not going to break down fast enough, and then I'm going to have this degradation in the quality and the growth of my lawn. Not necessarily. Again, going back to where if you have those clippings that are about an inch or less in height, it's not going to be enough of that matter on top of the freshly cut grass to where it's going to inhibit the growth of the grass. And in fact, again, it's going to probably help get some nutrients back into that freshly cut grass and keep it growing. A lot easier of a process too. So I wouldn't worry about thatch unless you've let your grass grow for weeks and weeks and weeks on end, which you should be doing anyway.
Wow, Jason, we get a science lesson from you. We get environmental tips. We get, yard tips. This is amazing. I'm always looking for ways to be lazier when it comes to any kind of work outside in the summer. So I love it. Thank you so much for these tips. We're going to come back to you over the next couple of weeks for some more tips from Public Works, because you guys got everything going on, and we really appreciate everything you and all the men and women who work in your department are doing. So thank you so much.
Anytime. Thank you, Liz.